Hello, LP.
Hello.
And welcome on Mademoiselle.
Thank you.
Let's raise a glass or two to all the things I've lost on you. Oh, tell me, are they lost on you? Oh.
Your song Lost on You is a very beautiful success in Europe, but you released 3 albums. What has changed in your music since 2001?
So many things I think have changed. I mean, when I was first signed indie artist, there was no YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. So it's just like a different vibe, getting signed back then and getting your stuff out. And, and again, I was like very indie, it's like I didn't get signed to a major label till about 2006. I was in the major label system for like 3 years, and I just wrote like a ton of songs. I wrote about 130, 40 songs, but no record came out, and I was dropped, and I just thought like, hey, my artist career is kind of done, and one of my songs got picked up by the Backstreet Boys, and then I started writing for other people. I was happy to be, getting paid to be a songwriter, you know what I mean? It beat like, working, my other job. When I realized I could write that many songs and I liked it, I just kept going, My managers were kind of like, you shouldn't be done as an artist. You should, write songs for you. And I think I felt kind of bolstered by their confidence a little bit. And I started playing ukulele, and I got really, it just kind of like made me enjoy music again, writing for me and singing. Wrote some more songs, and ta-da! Here I am, Mademoiselle.
Facing your process, is your success more significant for you?
I think it's, yeah, I mean, I think anything you have to work for that, takes a little longer is, I do feel like I'm really absorbing it and enjoying it and being appreciative of it, I'm really happy that that's possible, because I think sometimes it's like, gone in a second and you don't, you get really hung up on some of the wrong things, I think, sometimes if it happens too quick or too early. Not always, but, it's possible, and I don't know, yeah, it's definitely nice.
I lost on you.
How do you get your inspiration in writing songs for other people?
I find people in general fascinating and exciting, and just hearing about their life, or just even like sometimes I just walk in the room and I just feel something from them. I'm very used to like meeting people like right away and writing a song or whatever, and I think I think everybody can feel that initial kind of I don't know if you call it excitement always. It's interesting when you first meet someone. You don't know much about them, and sometimes if you meet someone that you've read a bunch about or seen a bunch of times, so you come into the session like whistling their biggest song, and you piss them off or whatever. No, I'm just kidding. It's fun. It's interesting, and I feel like sometimes I get to be a bit of a voyeur. Not even like an actual voyeur, but like what I think is a voyeur. Like I start thinking about that person, or like hearing about their stuff, or just trying to fit a mood.
You said that it helped you in writing your own songs, for your own music?
Yeah, I learned different stuff. I just pick up different stuff. I couldn't tell you what I learned, you know what I mean? But I can tell that I like kind of absorb it. It's like a snowball kind of thing. It's just really interesting and fun to see how other people do things. It's constantly inspiring. So I mean, you have to, and then there's times when you're not inspired at all. And I've learned to like kind of like not worry about those times and just kind of like, because I feel like I'm picking up stuff when I'm not putting out stuff.
Is that something that you will carry on with your career, with your success?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know so. I enjoy it, and it's fun for me, and a little break from myself.
I read that you were exposed to opera. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does it influence your music?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot of drama in my music, for sure, and I think I took that from opera that I listened to, and just like sheer force of like vocals, like singers like Maria Callas, for instance. Like she was like a rock rock star opera singer, you know. When you read stuff about her, it's like, it's pretty thrilling because she's what people thought was reckless with her voice, you know. She was a wild woman, and it's pretty cool, you know. It's like that style of singer, like being considered like reckless. Ooh, crazy.
There was opera. You have influences from rock music, from folk music. How
Yeah.
would you define your own music?
I think it's a bit of all of those. I would almost like, you know, sometimes it's like almost like folk opera. I feel like it's like anthemic folk opera, you know? I don't know, you know, I love everything from like, you know, Freddie Mercury to Bob Dylan to Woody Guthrie. My taste is eclectic, and I love, I can really appreciate different voices, you know? I like to like mix it up a bit and, you know, change voices and stuff.
Lost on You is a very personal song, which is based on your relationship with a girlfriend. Do you think personal stories make better songs?
You know, the human condition is has a lot of common themes in it. You know, what happens to us and what we go through in life. And you know, I think that you know, people will read into stuff wrongly and rightly when they listen to a song. But I think there's like a combination of things, that maybe the tone of voice, the lyric and the melody that combine to like kind of stir up feelings that people have also had, or like, you know, and I think songs are a way to connect to each other, you know, to feel, to know that we're not alone in our feelings, you know, etc. But if we feel something in a song, you know, we can, it heals us a bit. You know.
I read that you were fired by your label because of this song. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't fired, but this is terrible. Get out of my office. Get out.
What do you want to say to those people?
No,
who didn't
what I
believe in
want
you?
to say is like, hey, baby, it's okay. You know, you can't, you know, like love the one you're with. You know, like do whatever you got to do. Like I think, you know, as I say, like one person's treasure is another's trash. You know, I think, you know, I tell that story for a couple of reasons. You know, I've let go of it. You know, I'm very lucky. I mean, it's like, you know, what trips me out is the people who go through the same thing, who you know, are discarded in a way for something that was actually something. You know, I mean, think of all the painters that died before anyone even saw one painting. You know, Van Gogh, Van Gogh, you know, like people like that. And you know, I mean, that guy would blow his mind to see what goes on today for his paintings. A lesson not to give up. Hey, the song's on in the hotel, yeah. And there's, you know, something that goes on, you know, for people. I hope that they don't give up.
You're a true inspiration.
Ah, thanks.
Watch it. I saw that you had a tattoo, a ship tattoo on your chest.
I do have a ship tattooed on my chest.
What does it symbolize for you?
For me, you know, it was almost like the tail end of like a really painful time in my life, and it kind of, I used to hate when people said, it's the journey, the journey. And I wanted to like smack them in the head, you know, and they were right, you know, it really is. And that's like, you know, apropos of what we were talking about earlier, is that, you know, it is what you go through, and it is, you can appreciate things more and more when you have been through something difficult. So I feel like the journey has made me who I am, and made me appreciate where I am, and you know, so yeah, that's basically a symbol of the journey. I feel like a sailor in general, you know. I mean, I curse like a sailor. I live like a sailor. I'm all over the place. But yeah, I really, ships are beautiful.
And what kind of journey can we wish you today?
Today, who knows? I mean, you know, who knows where I'll end up. But, you know, I mean, I think everybody's journey, everybody's life is going to be, you know, ups and downs. And I don't really subscribe to the Buddhist philosophy of like not enjoying the highs or the lows. I'd like kind of like to just kind of keep the lows at bay and enjoy the highs as much as I can, you know. That's my own personal philosophy.
Thank you so much, LP.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never got to